What's up, good people? Watch that out. What's up, good people? How are you doing there? How are you doing? I'm blessed and highly favored, empowered to prosper, and prospering. So tonight, as you can see in the title, it says that we're going to be reviewing the the movie called Mr. Church, starring Eddie Murphy. It's not a new movie. The movie actually came out, I want to say in 2016, but we were happened to be talking about some of our favorite Eddie Murphy movies last night on the hood table, and I mentioned that one, and so everybody was like, "Oh, we should do a review on it. Let's go ahead and watch it and come back and do a review on it." So here we are. Here we go. By her, we over here. We over here about to do the review. Show Leos. So yeah, I'm waiting on a couple of people to join me, and I'm hoping that it won't be too long because I'm doing some of everything right now. I'm multitasking. I am actually making dinner and um, doing live and all this other kind of stuff also. So yeah, that part. If you want to view the movie, you can view it pretty much everywhere because I think it's on Netflix. I think it's on Tubi. It's on the YouTube. It's on quite a few streaming places where you could stream it for free. You don't have to pay any additional monies or anything to view it. So it is a very good movie. Um, I don't want to start without my people because why? I wasn't supposed to be doing this by myself. So yeah, that part. But I got a lot of favorite. Of course, some of my favorite Eddie Murphy movies would be one of them is everybody's favorite, Coming to America, of course. Especially the first Coming to America. The second was okay, but ain't nothing gonna top that first one. The first one was just classic. Um, also all of the Beverly Hills Cops, every last one of the Beverly Hills Cops. Here she go. Hello, sister.
Hey, Sis-Lo, how you doing?
Yeah, you be on my mind. So yeah, I was saying that we were talking about yesterday some of our favorite Eddie Murphy movies and how I was saying how here go my sister from another mister on the line. DJ, please hold the phone. She on the request line. Hey sis,
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
what's
Hey,
what's
What's
pointing?
nothing
What's
much? What's up, Corio?
yes?
nothing. What's up? What's up? The hood table.
I'm so
Girl.
I feel so honored. I feel so honored and privileged and
I
stuff.
feel honored. Yeah.
I feel so honored and stuff that y'all is on up. Y'all is on upper.
Yes.
Did you guys get to view the movie?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna start because I've seen it like several times. So what did you first of all what you guys think about it? What you all think about the movie?
Go ahead, Tanya. You want to go ahead?
Oh, you can go
Just
ahead.
Okay.
like
Uh,
how did you like the movie? Not
Um,
specifics about it yet, but like, how did you actually like the movie?
on a scale or just, well, let's see.
Oh, you give me a
It
scale
was,
of 1 to 10,
I'm gonna be honest, it was good, but
but
I feel like there's a lot of other movies like it, and those were all good too. Does that make sense?
mm, it was, yeah, good, but not. It didn't like stand out as like the first of its kind.
Right, right.
Yeah,
But it was very good. Yeah.
yeah, it was good. Well, I mean, for Eddie Murphy movie, right?
Yes.
Since we were talking about Eddie Murphy's joints, so well,
Right.
and sister, what you say, Tanya? Tanya, are there? Is she there?
I don't know. She may have ran to do something. Is she on? Yeah, she's on mute.
She took a pause for the cause. But anyway, actually,
Oh, I'm here. I was on mute.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Um,
I liked it too. I liked it too. It just left a lot to be desired, I thought.
you say a lot to
As
be
far as
desired.
the storyline was really good. It definitely pulled at your heartstrings, especially if you have somebody who died of cancer and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But it just left too much. Too much of the story was missing. That's just how I felt. I feel like I was like the writer was just holding back too much.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. I'm like,
It's
okay, at the end, I'm like, okay, is there gonna be a part two? Then I realized this shit happened in 2016. I'm like, why didn't I hear about this movie
Mm,
before? And then I realized, well, probably ain't gonna be no part two because it was made 7 years ago. But I want more. That's what I feel like. Like I'm missing a lot of the story, especially from his uh his background. Um, but I don't know. I still liked it
right.
though. I wouldn't
I
probably watch it again, but I mean, I still liked it.
I agree with the hood table.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Okay. Like, what were some of the questions like you would have? Well, let's just give a who wanna give a quick rundown of the plot of the movie. Which one of y'all can do that for me?
Well, it's the story of a black gentleman who was a cook, who was a cook, this white woman and her daughter, and apparently she had an affair with a man that had money.
Hmm.
But hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry. He had money, but when she found out that this man was married, she left him alone. And the daughter
Hello, is that my sound? Cause I lost Tanya. Are you there, Corio? I can't hear you, babe. Tanya, are you there?
Yeah, I was on mute. I'm here.
Yeah, I think we lost
Oh yeah,
Corio
she'll
for a
probably hit
minute.
the link again.
Yeah. So basically, like she was saying, she had a daughter, and she had a was in love with a man who was wealthy, and when she found out that the guy was married, she cut it off with him. But Here she is, so she can finish it. Hey, welcome back.
I'm so sorry. I
Oh, that's
waited all day for my sister to call. She called right now. Um,
okay. Oh,
did you guys go on or
oh, go ahead.
okay? The woman was a single mother, and it seems as though the dad of her daughter was never in her life. So it was
Hmm.
just her and her daughter. And so I guess at some point she had told this man with money who was married she had had an affair with, well, she had dated, that she had breast cancer. I wasn't quite sure about that, but and so anyway, he died, and he had a cook named Mr. Henry, right? Mr. Henry
Mr.
and
Church.
Mr. Church, right? And she had so anyway, when the man with money she had dated died, he told his cook, Mr. Church, to go work for her, and he would give Mr. Church a lifetime pension if he would work for the lady and her daughter
To
until
take
the
care.
mom till the lady died,
Mhm.
which was supposed to be 6 months, right?
Right.
And yeah, and so the lady and the mom ended up living, what, 7 more years? 7?
Something like that. Yeah, till
Yeah.
they graduated high school.
Yes, years.
And,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, she's supposed to only make it 6 months. She lasted for, I think, 7 years. And so anyway, she died, and the young girl, because I don't want to tell too much in betweens.
Uh-uh.
The
Oh, go
daughter moved to Boston to go to college,
ahead. Hmm.
and she came back pregnant, and
Hmm.
Mr. Church let her live with him. She never knew much about Mr. Church. She always wanted to know personal things about Mr. Church, but he was very evasive. And that, I think, that's
Hmm.
part of what Hood Table might have been talking about. He was very evasive. He didn't want her. He said he told her that, basically when he leaves work at the end of the day, working for her and her mom, he was owed his own privacy. So
Hmm.
anyway, when she was in college, she got pregnant. She moved back to Los Angeles, and Mr. Church let her move in with him. And
Hmm.
that's really, she had they got in an argument because he caught her snooping in his
Hmm.
bedroom, and so he kicked her out of the home. It was at night. She was pregnant, showing pregnant, and probably like 8 months maybe, because that baby looked big when it was born. Um,
Of course.
so yeah,
Them
so
Hollywood babies.
right. So she had slept in her car that night, and she
Hmm.
went to her store and she had got something to drink. I guess it was in the morning, some food and something to drink. And this skateboarder bumped into her, knocked her out, knocked her on the ground. And one of her old friends she had just seen, uh, he was coming out of the store ahead of her.
Hmm.
Anyway, he ran back and he put her in the car and drove her to the hospital. And of
Right.
course, when she was in the hospital, they were glad that the baby hadn't died and she didn't miscarry. And in walks Mr. Church. And so the nurses, anyway, the bottom line is he allowed her to come back home with him.
Hmm. Take care of.
And yeah, to take care of. He was still cooking and everything. And it, trying to think after that, he brought her back home. He was cooking for her still, but he would go out at night, Mr. Church would, and he would come back drunker than Cootie Brown, talk right, talking to himself, um, fuss arguing with his dad. And he would
Right.
always go to this place called Jolly's. Jolly,
Yep.
Jolie, yeah, Jolly's. So anyway, um,
And you
uh,
remember how she found out?
yeah, she was driving in the car with her friend, right, one night, and they drove past Jolly's, and she saw him going in, right? I think
Yeah,
that's
it's called jellies. Jellies.
Jellies or Jollies, or
Jellies.
yeah,
Yeah, like
Jellies.
jelly bean.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Her and her girlfriend. This was, I think, during their senior year, or they had just graduated, but they hadn't gone off to school or whatever. She hadn't gone off to school, and she had this VW bug, and her best friend were riding down the street, and they saw Mr. I always want to call him Mr. Henry, Mr. Church, standing, getting ready to go inside this club. Right, Hood Table? Right?
Yeah, he was standing outside the club mingling with some customers or friends, but you call him Henry because his name Henry Church, so that's where you're getting that from.
Okay, that's what I thought I was crazy. So, she had the baby, right? He brought her back home after kicking her out, and he was coming home drunk, arguing with his in his head, arguing with his father, but it was out loud to her, and he would go in drunk and go to bed, and he would empty his pockets out on the table, and he was still going to Jellies, the club. Anyway, he started getting a cough. I'm running through this. I guess you can fill in the little details, but he started getting a cough, and he wasn't feeling well, and he
She started taking care of him. Basically, the tables turned,
yeah,
and her daughter started caring for him.
yes, I'm gonna go on mute.
Oh no, go ahead. Unless you're done, yeah. Hold on. I didn't even realize she left. I'm up here doing something else. I wasn't even looking at the screen.
Yeah, this was a hard movie to watch, girl.
Girl,
So
I was
many.
crying crocodile tears, like, and I kept
I
trying to stop
know.
myself from crying, and it didn't work. I was like, oh,
I know, and I kept thinking about my dad. It was just rough. But
uh
it
huh,
was he died, and she found him dead in his bed.
yeah, that was sad.
Oh my goodness, it was so sad. Um
Hmm.
and so then it flashed to his wake,
Hmm.
and Jelly popped up,
Hmm.
and she had never met him or anything, and Jelly popped up. He told her who he was, and basically that Mr. Church played jazz piano in Jellies for
Hmm.
what, 30 years.
Yep, something like that.
And
Yep, yep.
yeah, and so he had never told the girl that, and so like Hood Table said, there was not much fill in. This is I'm what we're telling you is basically all we got in the movie about
Yeah, and
Mr.
then he didn't. He was very secretive. Like Jelly didn't even know that he was a cook.
Eggs. Yep, I forgot that part. Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. And so then after that, I had to get up and run to the ladies' room, so I might have missed the last, few
Hmm.
minutes if anything happened after the. Oh, then after the wake, she went into the house and she went in his room, and
Mm,
she opened the closet, and he had left her a box with her
mm,
name on it, and her name was Charlotte. And so
right.
when she took the box down, he had left all these pictures from when she was a child, her mother, and this, that, and the other. And, he had also left her a letter. And it basically stated, "You always wanted to know who I was and what I did, all this other stuff." He's like, "But I'm just a man." And I can't remember what else it said, but he just told her, "I'm just a man." Like, basically, you did all that worrying about who I
So
was, and
sorry,
I'm just
y'all.
normal, average, everyday. But go ahead, hood table. What else did that letter say? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was, yeah, that's like the gist of it, you know. That was like the gist of it. But he did say something like, you guys were my family to me, and thanks for accepting me as something like that.
I
I
know
remember he
what it
said something about
said.
family.
He said, "You guys thought I came to help you. You and your
Right.
mom thought I came to help you, and you guys really helped me."
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
something like that. Okay, I'm going on mute because
Go
I
ahead.
don't. Well, I
Say.
don't know
Well,
what we
well,
basically.
Sis-Lo, you need to tell us what you think about the movie.
Okay. Well, you know what I thought. I thought it was a good movie, but like you guys said, there was a lot like that I would have loved to see it start maybe at his childhood. I would have loved to see it start maybe a flashback of some of the verbal or mental abuse that he suffered from his father. Like from his just the how in the movie Ray about Ray Charles, how it started with him as a little boy when he first learned how to play the piano and when he first lost his brother and then when he went blind and all the way up to his mom sending him off to the school for the blind and all of that, and then it went into the other stuff that he went to when he started getting married, having kids, having affairs, and all of getting hooked to drugs and all that type of stuff. So I kind of wish it had gone back, kind of like that,
Hmm.
give us an insight on the things that happened to him as a kid. To kind of just give a like, it didn't have to go deep, but even if there were some flashbacks throughout the movie, like when he was talking about his father, even if like right before he started cussing his father out and whatnot, they flash back some thoughts of some of the things that he endured. But overall, it was a very heartwarming movie. It was and oh, another thing was um the fact that when you said that he was only supposed to take care of her, he gave enough money for him to take care of her for 6 months. And she ended up living 6, 7 years or whatever. And that Mr. Church had been taking care of them out of his money.
Right. I
He had
forgot.
been
Yeah.
using, yep, he had been using his own personal money to raise that daughter, to raise the mother, but the mother didn't know it. He
Right.
never,
And they really never said that per se, though.
yeah, they did say it. I mean, because she said she found out. I found out
That was
that
like an insinuation. I don't know because she said I found out that he was supposed to have only paid you for 6 months, but I survived for 7 years later. Somebody had told her daughter that or something.
yeah,
I can't
someone
remember.
she found out that that's what the situation was. That and then all of the money that she had given him for coupons, he saved all that money for Charlie when she went to college. He gave her all
Mm.
that money back. He didn't even use the money. He used the money to give back to her. And then also the young man that she went to prom with, she fell in love with, but it's not the one she had a baby by. She went to prom with and she fell in love with the young man But he was the same young man that later on in life that was the doctor that was trying to take care of Mr. Church once he got sick. You know,
Right.
because and it was so funny because he turned up getting just as sick as the mother was, and I think it was with lung cancer or whatever. They never said in the movie, but you know it's pretty safe to assume that's probably what it was.
Yeah, they didn't say a lot of stuff in the movies. It's
Right,
like it's a
right.
lot of
It was definitely
assumptions and a lot of
confronted.
insinuations.
Hmm. And the other thing was also not only was he a cook, but he was a talented jazz musician.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very talented. That's why he went to Jolly's because at one point in time he was a musician there.
And a seamstress,
Oh yeah, he could
and a
Where
dance.
did we find?
hairdresser, and
Where
a
did we?
daycare provider. He was everything.
He was
Oh
every.
yeah. Okay, I see what you. I was gonna say.
Nail
Where did they?
tech.
Okay.
He's so funny. Yeah, and I mean he was good. He taught her about flowers and herbs and mixing, fusing flavors and smells together to make certain things. And then when she talked about what she wanted, and she said what she say, Fruit Loops or Apple Jacks.
Yeah,
Apple Jacks.
Applejack.
And he was like, delightful. And he ate Apple Jacks just for her. And
That
he
one
tricked,
time
yeah,
before
that
she
was,
went off to college, right?
yeah.
Yeah, he ate. Yeah, but you know what I was gonna ask you guys if you felt this way when he would come in drunk from Jellies and would be arguing in his head with his father,
Mhm.
and I remember at one point he said, "I'm not a F." Do you think that Mister? I got the impression he could have been gay.
Or molested.
I didn't get that.
Or
I
molested.
Mm.
got that. I got a whole bunch of things. I got he was
Because
gay. I got oh go ahead.
he was married.
That
He
doesn't
was
mean
married
And
and he
that don't
anything.
lost
mean
his wife.
nothing.
No,
But
I'm
it
saying
did.
he was married and he lost his wife because of his alcoholism.
Was it
He didn't
because of
say
his
why he left.
alcohol?
Where is you getting all that?
Where you get?
I've
Yeah.
seen that movie like several times. You got
But that wasn't in the movie. It just said that he wasn't the right one for her, or she wasn't the right one for me. It didn't say anything about alcohol.
his friend at the end, a big eyed guy.
Who
Jelly.
Jelly?
Yeah, he was telling her a lot of stuff
I
at
didn't
the
hear that.
yeah. But
How did I?
anyway,
I didn't hear that.
yeah.
But
That he
oh,
got a divorce because his wife didn't like his alcoholism. What? How did I
yeah, I didn't
miss
hear that
that?
at all.
How in the
Hold on,
world did
y'all.
I miss that?
Yeah, I think it was because he was alcoholic or something. Hold on, y'all.
Oh,
Mm,
okay.
okay.
Well, it was
Uh,
obvious he was an alcoholic,
yeah, that was pretty obvious, but I didn't hear
but
that.
yeah, but I don't I don't know. I thought when he was talking about when she asked him about his well no, he volunteered finally a few things about his life. And when she said you were he was like I was married. She's like you were. What happened? And he was like, well, what did he say, Hood Table? I don't know. I can't. He
He
said
said she
that
wasn't the one for me, or I wasn't the one for her. That's all he said.
yeah, and it almost made it seem like
Said we weren't right for one another. It was something like that.
yeah, they weren't right for one another. And then later in the movie, when you hear him drunk coming in the house arguing, pretend in his mind arguing with his dad, but he was yelling out loud and stuff. He said, "I'm not a F it," and like his dad would call him that all the time. And so that made me wonder between what he said about that me and my wife weren't right for each other or whatever he said, and when he said that it just made it seem like maybe that came between them, that he was gay and she moved on. Did you get that impression, her table?
Yeah, that's the impression. I didn't really get. uh, well, as far as like the dad and stuff, I got the impression that his dad might have done something to him, like something
That's what I
creepy.
was saying, yo.
That's what I was getting. And that he, uh, some people they turn, I don't know if that's the proper word, turn gay, but you know how it is. That's it is
It
what
turned
it is.
out
I
in
mean,
But
I hate.
yeah, I think he was gay, and I don't know. I think the movie was trying to play tricks on us like that to make us think that he could be gay, but for all we know, he could be straight. Because I mean, there are a lot of gay men. They're into fashion. They can make clothes. They can cook. They can sew. They can play music. They can dance. They can all this kind of stuff. So it kind of gave it of the impression that he might be gay, or he wasn't like flamboyant and feminine. It wasn't all that, but he was very soft spoken and gentle. You know what I mean? So I got the impression that he might be gay and just in the closet.
wow.
But
Like,
where did you guys get the feeling that his dad might have molested him? I mean, well, MD. I shouldn't say.
I
What
just got it
part?
from he was just so angry. Like he had some deep anger.
Yeah,
Like PTSD, damn near. That's what it seemed like to me.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
it
what it
wasn't just no, oh my daddy didn't accept me. You know, it was
yeah.
I don't, and I'm not saying, you know, as far as touching him, but I'm saying like maybe severely beating him, punishing him, just doing
Oh, he
some real
did say.
crazy.
Now he
Yeah,
did say that his dad was fit in the letter. No, it was it in the letter. He was physically and mentally. He said he used to beating, and he said and there was mental abuse. He did say that. I think it was in the letter, right, Sis-Lo? Oh my
I
goodness,
don't
y'all.
honestly remember what all the letter
I'm
said
sorry,
though.
muted. I don't know if it was in the letter or in the in it had to be somewhere in there. I don't really remember.
It was in the letter because he didn't verbally tell her all that.
Right.
I think he was trying to explain himself in that last letter to her. And I know he said he was physically, his dad between the mental abuse and the beatings. That's what he said
Hmm.
in the letter. But I don't know.
It's just too bad. The whole thing was really, really sad, you know. And because it was like, dang, is he gonna find love at some point? And then I thought that they might have had an affair because it looked like they was about to kiss a couple of times.
Who, the mom and him?
Mom and him, yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. When they were and they came real close to it. I don't know. I don't think it was when he took her out the bath because he was bathing her everything when she got sick. You remember that?
The daughter was bathing her.
Right, and then he would yeah tell her to or draw her bath or whatever. But yeah, he was doing everything for her at one point.
Yeah. Because I think that was the daughter's job to bathing. And
Yeah,
so that one time when she ran out of the bathroom,
hmm
he had to come in with the towel. Yeah.
yeah,
And
and
he was looking away. Yeah.
being respectful to her or whatever. But when she got weak, real weak, but she got better long enough to see her go off to the prom. And yeah, I thought
I
she was gonna
want
die before that prom, bro.
now when I had to get up at the very end and go to the bathroom, was there a little bit afterwards that showed you maybe what happened? Or was that basically the end after she read the letter in his bedroom and stuff?
Um, I think it pretty much it went off after the funeral, didn't it?
Did it?
Well, her and the doctor got married.
See, I knew I missed a little bit. I
Yeah,
knew I missed a little bit. Okay, well, she found. Okay, she found love. All right.
Yep, her and the
Okay.
doctor, they were high school sweethearts, and he didn't want to break up with her anyway. She broke up with him before they went off to college. She broke up with him and whatever. So yeah, but I was glad to see that they found each other. But I was hoping that Mr. Church found somebody before he got up out of there.
I.
Between the time that she went off to college, and came back.
Mhm.
But I guess that would have been hard for him to accept her with her kid. I don't know, Chad.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't. And it's a real story, right?
I think it's based on a book or something.
Based on. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
I.
know that it's a true story,
They
but
said it's based off a real story.
is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know later on she became a writer. Remember, she became a writer, and that's what she was writing about. I think that's what she did her dissertation on, Mr. Church.
And she wrote Mr. Church, right? Yeah, she had to.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so. I'm not certain of that part. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was overall, it was pretty good. But like you guys said, there were a lot of parts in there that leave to the imagination.
Mhm.
So you would be thinking like, well, dang, what I want. They could have said this, or they could have said that, or that. It would have been different if it was only one or two little areas, but that particular movie left quite a few areas that was like too much to the imagination, and you know what I'm saying. So like, I don't see where there could have been a part two, but I do unless they pick it up with her daughter. You know what I'm saying? But how they gonna find another Mr. Church?
Right.
So
Well, Hood Table, what were some of the places in the movie you wish they would have filled in?
yeah,
Other than the back of his, the backstory. Well, what happened to him as a child?
A
Well,
lot. Like why he was so secretive, why he was single, why he got so angry at that girl. Like he was got really angry with her when she was just trying to find out about him. I get going into his stuff and stuff like that, but
because he
I'm
was
like, I mean,
good.
even if you are very private, he was working in their house all day and night. They trusted him and all this kind of stuff, and you know what I mean? Like they don't really know nothing about him. Like technically he
He was really
came in there as a stranger. You know what I mean? And he knew everything about them. So I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know. I don't think I can have somebody live in my house like that. You don't want me to know nothing about you, but you know everything about us. Like I don't
But
know.
he didn't live in the house with him.
I didn't
He,
say he lived in the house. I mean,
oh
he was there in the house like all the time. He practically lived there. From
yeah,
early, he would go there at 4, 5 in the morning and not leave till like 6, 7 in the evening.
right.
But yeah, it was just a lot to be desired. Like, is he gay? Is he not gay? Uh, I don't know. It just left me like, oh, okay, all right. I was like,
I
this is why I never really wanted to watch the movie. Like, this is why I just kept skipping it every time because I don't know. I just felt some type of way about it when I would see the previews. But
yeah.
I mean, overall, it was a good movie. I probably give it like I don't know, maybe a 6.5 or a 7 if I
Okay,
was to rate it from 1 to 10. I don't know.
that's fair. That's fair.
I just thought about this, and I would give it the same. I would give it a 7 because it did make me cry like
Mm.
3 times. So anytime something,
Moves you.
evokes that kind of emotion, it has to be better than a 3 or 4. So I would give it a 7. But maybe that's why his father would beat him and mentally abuse him because he found out he was gay, or
Never know.
either his dad was one of those crazy pastor dads that is wonderful on the outside into the world and a complete monster at home. he may have beat his siblings. He may have beat his mama. He might have been the only child and got beat. And but I don't know why. I still feel he was gay, and that was the problem between him and his dad. Mm. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, I'd give it a 7.
Wow. Well, I give
Yeah.
it. I guess I can give it about the same. But
Really?
yeah, but I mean, I like I said, I was moved by it. I enjoyed it, but it did leave a lot left to the imagination. But I mean, still, I would watch it again because just because I
Hmm.
like, I just like that type of stuff. You know, the music, the jazz, you know, the cooking, the just, you know, just that type. The fact that he also got her into reading, and you
Yeah,
know,
he did.
used he used he like the Bible say, with love and kindness have I drawn thee. He kind of drew her in with
Hmm.
love. You know what I'm
He
saying?
did.
He gave her all of those things that she probably could have gotten had she had known her.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
so
Yeah. And I just watched the very end of that, and he didn't say that. All he said was when he walked up in his club, uh he thought he was somebody famous the way he just jumped on the piano and was playing, and then he
Hmm.
said he didn't know that he could cook,
Hmm.
and that's like literally all he said. And then he ate some of that food. Remember, she said, "Would you like to try one of his recipes?" And he was
Hmm.
like, "This is really good." And then that was the end of his part in the show. Like,
right,
Okay.
so
Okay.
as far as him leaving his wife, I still think that he was probably gay, and I think that when he said we weren't right for each other,
Yes.
that's what I believe, that's what he meant when he told what's her name, Charlotte, they
Hmm.
just weren't right for each other. I think he was
Hmm.
really like in the closet. I
Hmm.
really do.
In some kind of way, his dad either his dad found out some kind of way, and that's
Hmm.
why, because that was something that really stuck out to me as far as what went on in the movie was him saying that, because the whole movie I was just like, you know because I do know back in the 40s and 50s, the vast majority of people, especially black people that have lived in California for generations, they migrated from Texas. So the whole time I'm thinking, well, he doesn't have, I'm trying to figure this man out. You know what I mean? I guess because I was so thirsty to know what he was, who he was, not what he
Well, did
was,
you
but
did either one of you get the idea at all that his father might have been gay too when he was like, "You calling me a F, but you're a F"? Like,
yeah, he did say that.
I don't know. I don't know. I felt some type of way about that too. Like maybe his father had issues with it because couldn't deal with it in his own, because I
Mm,
think this has something from very, very, very young, like maybe 2, 3, 4, 5. Most guys who are gay, born gay, or whatever you want to call it, or girls too. I mean, you see it in the 2, 3 year olds when they playing with only dolls, or they don't want toys, or they want to wear their mama's shoes, or girls want to wear their daddy's ties and hats and all that kind of stuff. But I think it goes way, way back to, this ain't no teenager stuff. This ain't no grown stuff where his dad found out he was gay. I think it
mm,
goes way, way back. But when the anger when he was saying, "You call me a F, but you're a F," I'm
mm-hmm,
like,
mm-hmm,
he
mm-hmm.
could have just been cussing his dad out.
In his
But
head, yeah, because
yeah, but I don't
saying
know,
things he
something with the
would,
dad.
yeah, saying things he wish he'd have said. I don't know,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
found it really funny that he didn't have any. Maybe she didn't know. He had. It was obvious that he either broke off completely from his family, which to me was kind of telling too, that none of his family showed up. She didn't. I mean, I'm sure she went through his stuff before she went in that closet and found that box, I would think. It just seemed weird to me and kind of telling that he had no family members that showed up that she even knew how to contact. It's like another reason why I thought he might have been gay is because, that's why I thought about Texas and the migration to California of Black Americans back then, that he was from someplace else. He made it to California so he could be away from his family and dad and everyone. So maybe he could live his life in secret.
And you know what I also thought? This might be far fetched, and I
What?
might be reaching like a mother. Oh,
What?
sorry, we on Sis-Lo channel. Sorry. I I thought maybe he even had a relationship with the man she had a relationship with.
Oh wow.
May I didn't think about that.
I ain't
Because we never really saw a wife. I mean, it was just things we were insinuating, like he was married. It was a lot of insinuations. Everything wasn't clear.
That wasn't an insinuation. He was what do
he
you
was
mean?
married.
Oh,
He
you
was
mean
married, but we didn't say who he was married to.
um
Back then they ain't do that.
so,
Girl, that don't
so
mean
you
that he wasn't married.
Not to a
Like,
man.
and what year did this happen? They could
That
have been together and had been
that
still
was big
married. Like, as far as I ain't
six.
talking about like on paper, but
That when we
back then, gay people got married all the time. They didn't have paper. They
no
would just have a wedding.
based in the 60s or 70s. They wasn't even no. They wasn't
I
married.
didn't, I'm saying, but back in the 60s and 70s, they would have like little ceremonies, just like Africans did back in the day when they couldn't really get papers saying they were married. They would just jump a broom and Oz married now. But we still, even if he wasn't like married to a man, like they didn't really say like he had a wife. That where's the children? There was nothing like that. And so yeah, I kind of at some points was like, I don't know. This just makes me feeling like it was like he know I love this woman and I couldn't really be with no man. And so because I love this woman so much, could you please take care of her after I
mhm.
die?
Yeah, I didn't get that, but
Yeah, I
could be
did.
if
Let me say this. You need to
information.
write a book.
No,
Yeah.
when you don't give me all the full details, you can't fault me for where my mind goes now.
You need to write a book. That's a very
Oh no. I mean, if this is what I got to work with, I mean, we can only assume and guess. Like, I don't
It
think one
leaves
answer is wrong. You know what I
right,
mean?
it leaves a lot to interpretation because
Yeah.
I felt like he led her on, Charlotte's mom, and when she wanted more out of the relationship, he and kept this is my interpretation, and she kept pressing him and pressing him and pressing him to the point he finally had to tell her, look, I'm married. And I think that he was probably still giving her money,
Yep.
to help her out, and that they might have did something every blue moon. But I feel like Mr. Church was legitimately his cook, not anything more. That's just me, his cook. And so when she saw the married guy, or she either called, because to me they had to still be seeing each other for her to tell him she's got cancer, because who out the blue calls an ex-lover that used them up and was married secretly,
And
and
that's
you
what I'm getting at. Like, okay, he told him in advance. Like, he had to tell him before he died. They had to be in contact for him to know she had cancer and stuff like this. And back then, it wasn't cool for a white man to be with a black man either, even if you could not get married.
I
So I
just
don't
don't
know. I think the answers fall with the man who left all the money. That's what I think.
I just think he was really married to a woman Mr. Church was his cook, and I think that he confided in. I think he confided in Mr. Cook because Mr. Cook, you sometimes when you have big secrets, you need to tell somebody a big secret. And I think they were friends, and I think that
They
he
was friends,
told
all
him.
right.
I think you
Something else,
stupid. I just think that they were friends. He knew about her, or maybe he didn't know about her. Maybe when he was sick, a lot of people make deathbed confessions. When he was sick, Mr. Church was in there bringing him his food, and he might have said, "Look, I know I'm about to die. This is what I did with this person. She's sick now. She has a little girl. They don't make much. I want them to be taken care of." Because I think he was probably, like I said, sending her money anyway after she dumped him when she found out he was married. And I think he was like, I want you to do this, and gave him all the parameters. I just don't think that they were lovers, him and the man. But that's just me. That's
I
my
do. I really
interpretation.
do. That is my conclusion. That is my final answer. And I think he just told her that so that she would leave him alone because he wanted to be with his boo, his lover. And when Eddie Murphy showed up to the house, that was a weird setting too, because he kind of showed up like, I'm here. Like
I
I've
felt
been sent.
I kind of felt like because she was in a relationship with the married man, she probably vaguely had heard about him, knew what he did at the married man's house. I think that she was not surprised because she knew of him because she was sleeping with the guy, his employer, for a year or however long.
Yeah, and
That
to me it didn't seem like she hardly knew him at all. That's how it
I'm
was to
not
me.
saying they knew each
Like,
other. I'm just saying she had heard of him through the man she's
mhm.
having an affair with, but I don't think they ever
Well,
met each
yeah,
other.
yeah, of course, because she knew that, this is Mr. Whatever. He was sent here for whatever to, cook for me or whatever like that. But she didn't know that it was for 6 months. I mean, it's a lot of things that even the lady who was dying didn't know. She didn't know
Right,
that he was supposed to be there for 6 months.
right. She
You
did
know what
not
I'm
know that.
saying?
You're right. You're right.
So I don't
Yeah.
know. That's why I said one's perception. What you call it saying? Uh, who I'm
Two
talking about
things.
sassy.
Two things can be the same at
Two
something
things
like
could
that.
be right.
Yeah.
Two things could be right at the same time.
But you're
So
absolutely right. When you leave big holes in the story for whatever reason,
leave a lot
you
to that
you
imagination.
you like Hood Table said, you can make you could be led to the left or the right.
yeah, and I don't
You
like those. I've never liked those type of movies where I'm left like, okay, what? Like, okay, yeah, it was a good love story. It was sappy. It was a tearjerker, but I mean, it wasn't like something I'd be like, oh my god, you gotta watch this. Oh my god. Afterwards, I was like, oh god.
right.
Okay.
Because if you
I
think
mean, yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all.
What you ain't gotta apologize. I'm just giving my opinion of the movie.
no, I mean, Ebert and what was his name when we were kids? The two movie
Oh,
people.
Sis-Lo and Eber's child.
Yes, they saw flops or movies that they didn't agree on, or I
Yeah.
mean that just happens. If we ever decide to ever do this again, we might all three love it, or the other two. Like it just don't feel
Yeah. Yeah.
bad. It happens. I'm not particularly a fan of a tearjerker. My favorite type movies are action,
Mine is action,
mystery.
drama,
Oh, but
Mine,
now listen, don't
horror.
feel
yeah.
misled when I tell y'all that Unhinged is off the chain.
Who?
Who?
Unhinged.
What is
Unhinged.
that?
Un.
It's called Unhinged.
I
I
think
think I
I've.
already watched that.
Huh?
I think I already watched that one.
Well,
Yeah.
watch
Yeah, I
it,
already watched that. Yeah, I saw that. That was good.
bro. Now, what did you think
Yeah, I like thrillers. I like horror. I like thrillers. I like suspense.
I
I like
like all
action.
those
I
kind of
love all
movies.
that. Yes.
So I don't
that
like
movie
tear
right
jerkers,
there,
and
bro?
I
That
don't like
dude was
romantic.
crazy. He was
I'm good.
cool crazy.
Yeah, I like that one. That was a good movie. Matter of fact, I probably watched that maybe. I probably watched that maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I stand on that one. I said, I bet she apologized. No, I don't want
Yeah, I like that one because she was like real rude and had went off and cussed him out. Yeah.
you. Yeah,
Hmm.
I bet she apologized from then on, but
Yeah. She actually did
Oh, that's
apologize
the
and he didn't
movie.
care.
That's the movie where she got smart with him and he started trying to hunt her down, right? Or whatever.
yeah,
And see, to me, that was just like that movie with the guy. What's his name? He was in A Beautiful
Samuel Jackson.
Mind. No, A Beautiful Mind
Oh,
was the white guy. What's his name? He was in A Beautiful Mind. He played the guy that had the beautiful mind. Russell Crowe.
yeah,
Remember
it
Russell
was
Crowe?
Russell Crowe. It was him.
Okay, well then that's who. I've
Yeah.
seen that before. You know, it
Yeah, it
was
came out in
good.
like 2020. It came out a few years ago, but yeah, I like that kind of stuff. Like when I literally sit down after work and I just want to wind down and watch some stuff, I'm looking at the horror movies. I'm looking at the stuff like that. Now I don't really get into sci-fi per se
I
and
do.
all the
Yeah.
animated stuff, but
No.
there's certain uh hero action heroes that I like, just certain ones, but I'm not really into that either. But you give me a good action, shooting, killing, or you know how you like okay, you like that movie Columbia or
Oh,
Columbiana?
Colombiana. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
stuff like that where they train to fight and they killing and all that. Yeah, that's my stuff. Flipping off the walls and yeah.
That's
I like that too. Now
how
I don't like I said, I don't like romantic. I don't like drama. A very few drama, and I don't like tear jerkers for the most part.
Yeah.
I
But
don't like
I
Doomsday.
think personally, I think that because all of Eddie Murphy movies on Prime are you have to pay for them, whether it's $3.99 all up to five or
I
six
watched
ninety
mine on
nine.
Prime for free, but I got the Prime account.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't
I
watch
not
it.
all of them are free. Not all of his
Oh,
movies are
I
free.
was okay, okay. You're right, but this one in particular, that's why I kept telling Sis-Lo is on Prime yesterday when she kept saying it's on YouTube. I'm like, I can just watch it on Prime because
Yeah, I
it's
watched it on Tubi,
yeah.
and so I kind of felt in the back of my head. I thought maybe it was made in the 2000s, like 2006, something like that. But I knew that it had made a lot of money at the box office if it was on Tubi, because his money you usually have to pay a little something something to watch.
Well, it's a lot of
Yeah, because usually the stuff they get on Tubi though is the stuff that really didn't get that much. You know what I mean? It ain't
Well,
given like
and
that.
some,
Like the
but
feedback.
it was either that or it was made in the 90s or 2000s,
yeah.
because they
Well, it
have a
said
lot of.
2016.
I
Yeah.
know, but I'm just saying, Tubi
Oh,
does
I get
have
what
a
you're
lot of,
saying.
yeah, a lot of good movies, but they were
That are
made that
shelved.
far
I know what you're
back.
talking about. Yeah, they
Yeah,
kind of like shelved and they never been put out. And then they get these different networks like Tubi and different ones like that, and they throw them up there. Yeah, I know what you're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah,
Hmm.
and they've been blockbusters 20, 30 years ago or whatever. But I'm, I'm still shocked I've never heard of it,
I
Mr.
had literally
Chuck.
never heard of it, and I know every Eddie Murphy movie,
I
so that's why
know,
when Sis-Lo was talking about it yesterday, I had to go on Wiki. I'm like, hold on, how I missed this one of
I
Eddie Murphy?
know. Yes,
I like
yes.
Because I done seen every movie he's been in,
Good or bad, you know what
good
I'm
or
saying?
bad.
Did
Because
you see the remake of the Rudy Ray Moore movie?
oh,
Who?
uh,
The
the
Rudy Ray Moore.
oh,
Hey,
Ruby
I
Ray.
yes, I did see it, and I liked it because the person, I can't think of his name, Rudy Ray Moore. He was remember it was a black he was a black exploitation actor, and he would do all this fake karate.
All that fake karate, and
What's the
he
name of the movie?
hit him.
I
It
can't think of it. I
was uh it
Was
was
it
I
like recently?
it wasn't
n-
even, it was like about 2 years ago, a year or two ago. Uh,
Okay, so we got a movie called
n-
You People.
no,
We
it's
got
been
the
longer
remake of
than
Coming to America. We
it's been
got
long longer
Dolomite,
than a
Dolomite.
year or two ago.
We got
Dolomite,
Dolomite is
Dolomite,
my name.
yes, Dolomite is my
Is
name.
that the one you're talking about?
Yes,
yes.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, that was from 2019. Yep.
He was
it
talking
was
about,
really a couple years. It seems like it was longer than that.
yeah.
No, it says 2019.
Where's time going?
Let me
I'm,
double check. Let me double check.
I'm like, ooh, that seemed
Yeah,
like that
it
came
might have
out in.
been made in 2019, but I don't think it didn't get released until the
Well, it
pandemic.
says,
It got
I,
released during the
it
pandemic.
could have. I know I'm probably
yep, it
wrong.
says
It just,
2019.
Yeah,
Lord, where has time gone? Good
it got
grief.
made. Yep, 2019. I think it was released in 2020 because it was in the pandemic when
No, it says released in 2019.
that's when it was made. I know
It said it was released in, you said 2020, it was released in 2019 on October 4th.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But,
yeah,
yeah, I saw that.
it
Yeah, I
was
saw that.
on. That's why I seen it on Netflix.
Yep, same
Yeah,
here.
I think I might have seen it on
Yeah, they
Netflix.
said it was at a film festival September 2019 in Toronto, and then it went to Netflix on October 4th that
yeah.
same year.
Okay,
Yep.
and maybe that's why I remember because that's the kid's daddy birthday.
Yeah, usually when they go straight to Netflix or something like that, it's like it's not getting no good enough review to go to the movie, like
Mm-hmm.
go to the AMC's and all that kind of stuff.
Right, right.
And it was funny because he remade it exactly the way that Rudy Ray Moore. He showed how he made it, how cheap the set was, and
That
a girl the way
part was funny. That part, yeah.
the way the bed was falling down on them when they had to shake the bed.
But
How they used the old movie theater that didn't have
mm-hmm.
no lights.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Um,
crazy,
yeah, but
but it
I
turned out being
I
a
yeah.
for us by us.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
just I would like for I would the she could write. I don't know how she could do it, but maybe it's a personal thing that she didn't want to go into much more, or maybe she just the person who bought the film right, bought the book rights from her, didn't wasn't a great director and didn't have great writers, and they didn't know how to write a better movie. But I don't know how she could do it, but I would love for her. Maybe if it was a better, maybe if the movie was more popular and made more money, there'd be millions upon millions of people with questions, and maybe we would have, what I mean, got the answers.
Mhm.
But I would like to know more
Right,
about the about him.
right.
Mm, anyway,
Yeah, but I know that lady, she old now though. She older than me. She probably older than me. Yeah. So I would wonder to see how her daughter grew up and all that. If she ever met any of his family in real life. You know,
yeah.
some of that type of stuff. These potatoes.
Hmm.
Mm-mm-mm. Girl, it's getting hotter and hotter up in here. I've been trying to kill two birds with one stone, trying to hurry up and cook. because I got somebody that ordered a couple of dinners from me. So,
Oh, you cook dinners for people?
uh huh, yeah,
Oh, and then they come over and pick them up.
yeah. I carry out. So like I cater whole dinners, lunches, and it depends. And like this is the busier time of the year. Like this is when I do a lot of baking and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't do as much as I used to because I'm not really physically able to. But yeah,
I'm feeling some type of way. Both of y'all are great bakers,
uh,
and I
now
can't,
I decorate like
I
Tanya.
can't, I
I cook
can't
it.
get anything. Okay.
I cook it and I drizzle some stuff or something, but I don't do all that piping like Tanya
Oh
does.
yeah, well she could,
Yeah, that girl
yeah,
got skill. And
she's
she has
on.
a very creative eye.
You know,
Do that. Nah.
yeah, she is like the cake decorator, like on TV. What was his name? He used to do wedding cakes and stuff. I forget his name, but
Uh,
yeah,
uh, from Hoboken or whatever the name is in Jersey.
You talking about the
yes,
cake boss, Buddy?
yes, the cake
Buddy,
boss.
oh, I
Yeah,
Uh huh.
yeah,
love watching that girl.
Buddy Valastro.
yes, yes.
Yeah, the
You're
cake
like,
boss.
yeah, you're like cake boss level, and it sound like Sis-Lo is. You know how your grandmother could bake a cake from scratch real good, and everybody loved it.
No,
That's what Sis-Lo sound. But
yeah, but I
either
ain't
way,
later. I ain't,
I can't do none of that mess, and I think it's unfair that I can't even get it mailed or FedEx to me. I
girl,
still have an issue with that, but it is what it is.
you too, honey.
I don't know. Trust me, I get a lot of requests from people. Somebody hit me up like a week ago talking about can I ship something. I said, no, I've never done that before, and I'm not trying to get into that because I think that is just something for people who probably have a lot more help, assistance. I'm not trying to be going back and forth with no UPS, no FedEx, no nobody like that. I'm not trying to worry about if the cake gonna get there and look the same way it did before it left my house. I'm not, you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Because I put a lot of time in cake decorating,
Hmm.
and it's just to see it like, oh my God, like, okay, when you get a fresh cake made, not like from the store or Walmart or nothing, but a fresh cake with fresh frosting, they are fragile. And that's why after you decorate them, you're supposed to put them in the refrigerator for maybe 2, 3, 4 hours before you give it away. Because you
Hmm.
could get in the car, be driving down the road,
And they
come
go,
to a complete stop real hard, and then each layer of the cake gonna go a different way
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
if you don't do that. But then sometimes you tell people anyway, be careful, put the cake right here, don't drive too fast, don't, stuff like that. And I'll be like, what happened to the cake? Well, I'm just gonna tell you, I was speeding and it flipped over a front seat and hit the floor. But I told you to put the cake on the floor and put
Hmm.
and oh my god.
To me, they're so obvious to do.
And oh no, I had a lady. Okay, when it gets real hot, you have to tell your customers, even like you said, it's obvious. But you have to tell people if the party gonna be outside, if you're gonna be driving to deliver the cake, do not leave the cake in the car under any circumstances. This lady, and also if you're having it outside, leave it in the house where it's cool or in the fridge till you ready to go outside with the cake. This
Right.
lady pick up the cake, put it in the car, thinking, oh, I can put it in the trunk. It'll be
Oh
all
my
right. It's like almost
god.
100 degrees outside. It's like hot as outside.
Oh
And
my
she goes in the
god.
store to do some grocery shopping.
Oh
And
my god.
take back this.
And she comes back out, and the cake wasn't totally destroyed, but it was like frosting running down, the decorations falling. I was like, I hate when people just don't listen. Like,
Yeah, all that hard work, but
this is not some cake that been sitting in the store in the refrigerator for a whole week at Walmart before they put it out for somebody to buy it. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be careful with fresh made cakes. But
Right.
yeah, I didn't have too many of those issues, but that is a pet peeve of mine. Like when I tell you, don't do this, do that with the cake, just listen.
But
Oh yeah, I ain't into shipping nothing. Mm-mm.
what grown person doesn't know not to do that? That is just, it's
Girl,
weird.
Because they don't know. Because
It's
you can
weird to
literally
me.
take a Walmart, but listen, you can literally take a Walmart cake and sit it in your car and it will look the same for a week. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like for
Yeah.
real.
Mhm.
That cake, that frost is so hard and stiff, like they use lard or something to make that frost. And I already know what type of what they use to make it because I just, I'm a baker. But what they use is that Crisco grease, the hard grease that you can scoop
Oh.
out with a spoon and put in your pan to fry chicken. That's what
Oh.
they use. They mix that in with their butter to make it like solid, solid, solid. And that's why when you buy a cake from a grocery store, sometimes it might taste okay, and sometimes it might taste like, the last cake tastes better than this cake.
Hmm.
You might get a different taste every time.
Right.
And then on top of that, they can keep the frosting and the cakes in the freezer up to 6 months. So they buy a big old bucket, like a big old bucket of frosting, and they keep it in the refrigerator in the freezer for 6 months. Then they take some out when they need some, let it thaw out. That's what they do at the store.
Oh. Okay.
Yep,
Oh
yep.
wow. Mm.
And of course, when you buy a cake from a personal baker, they make the frosting the same day.
yeah, make it all. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, people don't know that though. If you don't decorate cakes and on that level of professionalism, you don't know. Most people
Right.
still buy the frosting out the store in a little can. And so they don't even know you can really make frosting. Like it amazes me. But
Um.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like somebody actually told me, y'all, and it sounds so stupid to me. Like, how many cans of frosting did you need to make this cake? I was like, you really think I went to the store and bought a whole bunch of cans of frosting to make this big old cake? Come on now.
Oh my God.
Come
And
on now.
that
People are
frosting is doodle.
amazing.
That frosting is doodle. Like you use, it's so
It
wet.
is straight doo doo. Straight doo doo. Mm-mm.
It is. That's
Nope, nope, nope.
cool, man. Can't do
But
that.
yeah, for the average person, if you're just making a cake for your husband, making a cake just because you want a cake, making a cake for the kids, and you can't afford to buy a cake, or I mean, you do what you can do. But I always tell people all the time, like it's so easy to make your own frosting. It's so easy and like 100 times better than that
Mm.
store stuff. It's so easy. Get you a KitchenAid mixer, not the hand mixer, because if you buy a hand mixer and you're trying to make a lot of cakes, you're gonna get carpal tunnel eventually.
And you
But
gonna and you gonna burn it out.
and you're gonna burn it out, and it's just it don't work the same. But yeah, get you a catch them on sale, catch them on Good Friday, buy one at a thrift store, use one, But oh my God, they are the truth. They are the truth. Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to get me on Black Friday next week. I'm gonna get me a newer, bigger one.
Hmm.
Yep, I'm gonna get me a newer, bigger one. And I want a black one because my kitchen is black and white. And the
Oh
one I
yeah.
got now is white. So I want a black and silver one. Because
Hmm.
now I got a white and silver one. So yeah, I want a black one bigger. I can make way more frosting,
Yeah. And the white
at
one
one
could
time.
be your backup.
Yeah, the
Or
white one could be the backup. Or like when I'm having separate colors and I need
yeah,
like I got a cake with three, four, five colors.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
Wanna make
right now what I do is
the icing and all kind of things.
yep. Yeah, well, see, I don't really have no problem with that because when you make the batter for the cake, it's like cooking and stuff, and in that time, you literally don't make the frosting till like the last minute. So
Hmm.
by that time, the thing is washed out, set aside, and I
Right.
leave the cake has to sit for some time, so the cake has to sit and get totally stiff for like I might bake a cake at let's say 8 in the morning, and I won't decorate it till like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Because I want to make
Hmm.
sure the cake is totally solid. Because when you professionally decorating a cake, you putting a whole bunch of frosting on there and scraping and whipping it around, and you gotta make sure that cake is not fragile at all. So you
Right.
put
Right.
it in the refrigerator, put it in the refrigerator for some hours till it's
Hmm.
like totally stiff. Then take it out and
Hmm.
decorate it.
And you gotta
But
let it
yeah,
cool down before you even put it in the
Yeah,
refrigerator.
you gotta let it cool down naturally on one of those cooling racks before you even put it in
If
the fridge.
not, it'll be gummy and
Yep, yep, and the flavor won't stay when you freeze it
right.
just like that. Yep. Kind of like meat. When you cook meat and they say don't cut it right away, just let it sit.
Yep.
Yep. Not the same thing, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're
My
saying.
battery on my computer is about to die, guys.
Okay,
Okay,
well, it's been fun, you guys.
it was
Um,
fun.
I love you.
Corio, I'm gonna chat with you, Corio, because I know you be following the beast, and so I might hit you up later. We ain't gonna
Okay,
go live or nothing
I'm
like that because I'm chilling the rest of the day. But
okay.
I'm gonna
Well,
charge up just in case, but I got it. I had to use the internet on my phone because when I moved my computer from my desk, it started acting dumb.
okay.
well, I don't plan
Yeah,
on going live today. I mean, some have to
yeah.
like be extremely on fire on the B sector streets for me to go live.
Yeah. I haven't
But yeah.
actually I haven't really watched much since this morning, so I'm not exactly sure. I might know one or two little things, but I get it. But Sis-Lo, thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
it's I
I
got 8 minutes left on my thing. You are so welcome. I'm so honored
yeah,
that you came.
and I'm honored that I was allowed up on the panel and was
Girl, stop.
invited because I know you guys
You can
are
come over my crib anytime, boo.
Thank
okay.
you. I be
Yeah.
telling her like when she be like, okay, such here, I'm gonna get down. No, no,
I be feeling like I stink or something. Like,
I
no,
remember
no,
you
no.
said that. I felt so bad. I was like, Lord, I'm making the
oh,
woman
it's
feel
dying,
funny.
y'all. I love y'all. It's
Okay,
Okay,
bye
I'll talk to
bye.
y'all. I'll hit y'all up later. Bye bye. Love you.
Okay, bye bye.
All right.
Love you too.